Rain-soaked and desperate, Hannah Kim had no idea that one wrong delivery would drag her into the crosshairs of the city's most feared Korean mafia boss. What started as a simple mix-up at an upscale lounge spiraled into a deadly game of cat and mouse, where powerful men would kill for territory, and she had accidentally become the perfect pawn. But when Jae Min-seo stepped from the shadows with his umbrella and dangerous smile, he wasn't just offering shelter from the storm. He was offering protection that would cost him everything he'd sworn never to risk again, his carefully guarded heart. Little did Hannah know that the man saving her life was the same man whose tragic past would either destroy them both or forge a love strong enough to survive a war. Because in Jae Min's world, the difference between protector and predator is thinner than the line between love and obsession, and someone is about to cross it. Subscribe and tell me in the comments, have you ever trusted someone dangerous because you had no other choice? Rain needles the sidewalks as Hannah Kim shoulders her delivery backpack. The weight digs into her spine. She counts the bills in her pocket twice, enough for her mother's medication if she takes 3 more runs tonight. The Korean lounge sits wedged between neon signs. Water streams down its glass doors. Hannah pushes inside and shakes droplets from her jacket. "You're late," the bouncer says. His voice cuts through the music. Traffic was bad. Hannah pulls the receipt from her pocket. Table 12 ordered the Macallan. The bouncer checks his clipboard. His eyes narrow. Bottles missing from the order. What? Hannah's heartbeat skitters. No, I delivered everything. You sure about that? Hannah felt panic rise in her chest. Check the receipt. Everything's listed. The bouncer steps closer. Other staff members turn to watch. Heat crawls up Hannah's neck. "Maybe you thought no one would notice," he says. "I didn't take anything." Her voice shakes. The torn ticket stub crumples in her fist. Footsteps echo from the back corridor. The music seems quieter now. Every conversation stops. A man emerges from the shadows. Tall, sharp-suited, moving with careful precision. The bouncer straightens immediately. "Problem?" The man's voice is soft but carries weight. "Missing bottle, boss." She claims she delivered everything. The man's eyes find Hannah's. Dark, measuring, unreadable. Something shifts in his expression when he sees her torn uniform and wet hair. "Show me the receipt," he says. Hannah hands it over with trembling fingers. He scans it quickly. "Everything's here." He hands it back to her. "Payments processed." The bouncer's face reddens. "But sir, the bottle is accounted for." The man's tone ends the discussion. "See that she gets to her car safely." Hannah felt relief flood through her. "Thank you. It's raining," he says. He pulls an umbrella from behind the host station. "Allow me." Outside, water rushes through the gutters. The umbrella shelters them both as they walk to the curb. His presence feels solid beside her. "You work nights often?" he asks. "When I need to." Hannah glances at him sideways. "You run this place?" Among other things, a black sedan idles across the street. Camera flash sparks once from its window. The man notices immediately. His jaw tightens. "That your ride?" Hannah asks, nodding toward the sedan. "No." His voice was careful. "Is someone following you?" "Following me?" "No. Why would?" She stops. The camera flash replays in her mind. "Who are you?" "Jae Min-seo." He hands her the umbrella. "Keep this." "I can't take your umbrella." "You can." He steps back into the rain. Water darkens his shoulders instantly. "Be careful walking alone." Hannah clutches the umbrella handle. "Why are you helping me?" "Good night, Miss Kim." He knows her name. She never told him her name. Her breath caught as he walked back toward the lounge. The sedan's engine purrs to life. Its headlights sweep across the wet pavement as it pulls away from the curb. Hannah hurried toward the bus stop. The umbrella kept her dry, but her heart hammered against her ribs. In her pocket, the torn ticket stub felt suddenly important. Behind her, the sedan's lights followed at a distance. The stairwell lights flicker as Hannah climbs to the 5th floor. Mrs. Kim's cough echoes through the thin walls. Hannah's phone pings. "Evan, you at Seo's? Be careful." Hannah frowns at the text. How does Evan know where she was? She deletes the message and pockets her phone. "Mom?" She unlocks the apartment door. "I'm home." Mrs. Kim sits at the kitchen table. Pill bottles line up in front of her. Her left hand shakes slightly as she reaches for the water glass. "Good shift?" Mrs. Kim asks. "Fine." Hannah helps organize the evening medications. Did you eat? Porridge. There's some left. Hannah counts out the pills, blood pressure, heart medication, supplements. The costs add up in her head automatically. 3 more night deliveries should cover next week's refill. The neighbor's dog was barking again. Mrs. Kim says. Mrs. Park's terrier? No, different bark, deeper. Hannah felt unease prickle along her spine. Their building doesn't allow large dogs. She moves to the window and peers through the blinds. The black sedan sits under the streetlight. 2 men stand beside it, looking up at their building. Mom, go to your room, Hannah says quietly. What's wrong? Just go lie down. I'll bring tea in a minute. Mrs. Kim's breath caught. Hannah, everything's fine. Hannah forces a smile. I need to check something outside. The apartment door has 3 locks. Hannah fastens all of them and heads for the stairwell. Her footsteps echo in the concrete space. At the landing, she stops. Voices drift up from below. 5th floor, apartment 5B, someone says. You sure? Boss wants to talk to her. Hannah's chest tightened. She backs toward her door, but footsteps are already climbing the stairs. 2 men round the corner. They wear expensive coats and move with purpose. Neither one smiles. Miss Kim? The first man steps forward. We'd like to offer you some help. Help with what? Your bag looks heavy. Long night shift, right? Hannah grips the delivery backpack tighter. I'm fine, thanks. The second man blocks the path to her door. Our boss would like to make sure you got home safely. I did. So, you can leave. See, that's the thing. The first man's voice was patient. There might be some confusion about tonight. About what you saw. Hannah felt fear bloom in her stomach. I didn't see anything. Good. That's good. But just to be sure, a shadow moves behind them. Footsteps, quick and silent, climb the stairs. Jae-min So appears on the landing. Water still drips from his hair. His eyes are calm, but something dangerous sits behind them. Problem? He asks. Both men step back immediately. No, sir. Just checking on Miss Kim. I can see that. Jae-min's voice was soft. She's checked on. You can go. Of course, sir. The first man turns toward the stairs. As he passes Jae-min, there's a brief exchange. A quick movement. The man's wrist snaps backward. He doesn't scream, just makes a small, choked sound and cradles his hand against his chest. Carefully, Jae-min says. Next time. The men disappear down the stairwell. Their footsteps fade quickly. Hannah presses her back against her apartment door. How do you know where I live? Your address was on the delivery receipt. Jae-min studies the hallway. These locks won't stop anyone determined. Are you threatening me? I'm stating a fact. His eyes found hers. Someone photographed you outside my establishment tonight. That creates a problem. What kind of problem? The kind that puts innocent people at risk. Hannah felt anger cut through her fear. So this is your fault? Partially. His honesty surprises her. Most men would make excuses or blame someone else. What do you want? She asks. To make sure you stay safe. I don't need protection. Everyone needs protection sometimes. The silence stretched between them. Water drips from his coat onto the worn linoleum. You should go, Hannah says finally. I should, but he doesn't move. Will you remember my name if something happens? Nothing's going to happen. Something shifts in his expression. Good night, Miss Kim. He turns toward the stairs. Hannah watches him disappear around the corner. Inside her apartment, she fastens all 3 locks again. Her hands shake as she checks each one twice. Under her door, someone slides an envelope. No footsteps retreat. When she opens it, there's no cash inside, just pharmacy receipts. All her mother's medications, all marked, paid. The power cuts at midnight. The building falls silent, except for wind rattling the windows. Mrs. Kim's breathing machine stops humming. Hannah finds the emergency. Flashlight and checks on her mother, still sleeping. The medication helps with that, at least. A soft knock echoes through the apartment. 3 taps, pause, 2 more. Hannah approaches the door quietly. Who is it? Jae-min. She opens the chain lock but leaves the deadbolt engaged. It's late. Your building lost power. That's not safe for someone who needs medical equipment. Through the crack, she sees him, holding a small bag. Candles, maybe. Or batteries. The backup will kick in soon, she says. There is no backup in this building. Hana felt helplessness wash over her. He's right. The building's electrical system is ancient. I brought candles, Jamin says, and a portable oxygen concentrator if your mother needs it. She doesn't use oxygen. Good. Still, power might be out for hours. Wind gusts against the windows. Something creaks ominously in the walls. Hana opens the door. Stay by the kitchen. Don't go near my mother's room. Understood. Jamin steps inside and sets down his bag. He pulls out thick white candles and a lighter. The flames cast moving shadows across the walls. Better, he says. How did you know the power would go out? I didn't, but I know this neighborhood. Old buildings don't handle storms well. Hana watches him arrange the candles safely on the counter. His movements are efficient, careful. You do this often? She asks. Take care of people in power outages. Break into apartments. His mouth almost smiles. I knocked. You know what I mean. I don't break into places. I prevent other people from breaking into places. Lightning flashes outside. Thunder follows immediately. The storm is directly overhead now. 5 hours, Jamin says. Then I'm gone. 5 hours until what? Until the storm passes and the power comes back. He settles into the kitchen chair like he's keeping watch. His presence fills the small space, but it doesn't feel threatening anymore. You don't have to stay, Hana says. I know. Wind rattles the loose window latch above the sink. Jamin glances at it, then stands and walks over. This is broken, he says. I know. Landlord won't fix it. He examines the mechanism in the candlelight. Do you have tools? A screwdriver, maybe some screws in the junk drawer. Jamin works in silence. His hands move surely despite the dim light. The rattling stops. Better, he says again. Hana felt something warm unfurl in her chest. Thank you. Windows should latch properly. He returns to the chair. The silence between them feels different now. Less wary, more waiting. Why are you really here? Hana asks. Because those men will come back. Tonight. Maybe. Probably not in this storm, but soon. Hana's chest tightened. What do they want? Information. About what you saw at the lounge. I didn't see anything important. You saw them back down when I told them to. That's information. Thunder crashes overhead. The whole building shudders. I'm making tea, Hana says. She needs something to do with her hands. You want some? Please. She lights the gas stove with a match. The flame dances blue in the darkness. Your mother, Jamin says. How long has she been sick? Stroke, 2 years ago. She's getting better. That's good. Are you married? The question slips out before Hana can stop it. Something shifts in his expression. The warmth disappears. No, he says. The silence stretched again, but this time it feels fragile. Sorry, Hana says. None of my business. It's fine. But his voice says it's not fine. There's old pain in the way he looks away from her. The tea kettle whistles. Hana pours 2 cups and sets one in front of him. Thank you, he says quietly. Outside, the wind begins to ease. The storm is moving past them, leaving only steady rain behind. Jamin checks his watch. 3 more hours. Then you disappear again? Then you're safe until morning. Hana felt disappointment, which surprises her. She barely knows this man. What happens in the morning? She asks. You go to work, I go to mine. Life continues. And the men who were here won't bother you again. His voice was certain, but Hana catches something underneath. A promise that might require action. How can you be sure? Because I'll make sure. The candle flames flicker but don't go out. In their light, Jamin's face looks both gentle and dangerous. Hana's breath caught. What exactly do you do for work? I solve problems. What kind of problems? The kind that keep people awake at night. Thunder rumbles in the distance. The storm is leaving them behind. Pre-dawn light filters through the blinds. The candles have burned down to stubs. Jamin sits exactly where he was hours ago, alert and watching. Hana wakes on the couch with his jacket draped over her shoulders. She doesn't remember falling asleep. Power's back, he says. The refrigerator hums quietly in the kitchen. What time is it? 6. You've been sitting there all night? I don't sleep much during storms. Hana sits up and hands him his jacket. Thank you. For what? For staying, fixing the window, not making this weird. Something shifts in his expression. It's not weird to want people to be safe. A soft knock interrupts them. Jae-min moves immediately, placing himself between Hana and the door. "Miss Kim?" A voice calls. "I have pharmacy deliveries." Jae-min relaxes slightly. "That's Minho. He works for me." Hana opens the door. A man about Jae-min's age stands in the hallway holding white pharmacy bags. "Good morning," Minho says politely. "Everything from yesterday's receipts, plus next month's refills. I didn't order next month yet. Boss, thought you might need them early." Hana glances at Jae-min. "I can't accept this." "You already paid," Jae-min says. "Yesterday's receipts, remember? That was yesterday's medication. Consider it a bulk discount." Minho sets the bags inside and nods to both of them. "Have a good day." After he leaves, Hana checks the bags. Everything her mother needs for 6 weeks. The pharmacy labels show 0 balance owed. "This is too much," she says. "It's practical. You won't have to work extra shifts for medication runs. I work because I need money, not just for medication. I understand." But Hana felt like he doesn't understand. This feels too much like charity, like being kept. "I should go," Jae-min says. He stands and straightens his shirt. "Back to solving problems?" "Something like that." At the door, he pauses. "Memorize this number." He recites it once. "Why?" "Emergencies. I won't call you. I know. But if something happens, if you need help, use it." "I don't need." "Everyone needs help sometimes," he says again. After he leaves, Hana deadbolts the door and checks on her mother. Still sleeping peacefully, her phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number: "Gas leak inspection tomorrow. Vacate floor 5 by noon." Hana frowns. Gas inspections usually happen with more notice. The timing feels wrong. Convenient. She walks to the window and peers through the blinds. The black sedan is gone, but a white utility van sits where it was. Under her door, she finds a piece of tape. Small, clear, with Jae-min's family crest stamped on it. A marker. A warning. A promise. Hana felt her world tilt sideways. Whatever this is, it's not over. Pre-dawn arrives grey and muted. Hana checks on her mother, then starts coffee with shaking hands. The pharmacy bags sit on the counter like evidence of something she can't name. Someone knocks. Gentle, professional. "Miss Kim?" "Minho Park. I have a few more items." Hana opens the door. Minho holds fresh pharmacy bags and a small paper sack that smells like breakfast pastries. "From boss," he says. "He thought you might be tired." "Where is he?" "Handling the gas leak situation." "What gas leak situation?" Minho's eyes find hers. "The fake one. The inspection notice was sent to clear your floor." Hana felt ice settle in her stomach. "Clear it for what?" "Access. Boss wants you and Mrs. Kim somewhere safe today." "This is safe. It's our home." "Not today, it isn't." Through the window, she sees 2 vans now, both white, both official-looking. Men in coveralls move equipment toward the building entrance. "How do we know you're not part of whatever this is?" Hana asks. "You don't." Minho's voice was honest. "But boss sent this." He hands her a note written in careful handwriting. "The leak inspection truck. Arrived 4 hours early. Wrong company logo. Trust Minho." "He's been watching all night?" Hana asks. "Boss doesn't sleep much." Mrs. Kim's voice calls from the bedroom. "Hana? What's happening?" "Gas inspection, Mom. We need to leave for a few hours." "Where will we go?" Minho clears his throat. "Boss offers his guest room. Very quiet, very safe." "Absolutely not." "Miss Kim," Minho's voice was patient, "these men aren't here for gas leaks." "Then what are they here for?" "You." The word hits like a physical blow. Hana's breath caught. 2 hours, Minho says, just until boss handles the situation. Through the window, men enter the building lobby. They move with purpose that has nothing to do with utility inspections. "Mom," Hana calls, "pack your medications. We're going out for a while." "Where?" "Somewhere safe." Mrs. Kim appears in the hallway, already dressed. Her bag is packed and ready. "I heard everything," she says quietly. "We should go." Minho leads them down the back stairwell. A black car waits in the alley behind the building. No license plates visible. "Boss is very particular about safety," Minho says as they drive. "There will be rules." "What kind of rules?" Don't leave the apartment alone. Don't answer the phone unless he says to. Don't open doors for anyone except boss or me. Hannah felt her independence slipping away. For how long? Until the situation is resolved. The car winds through streets Hannah doesn't recognize. Expensive neighborhoods, clean sidewalks, buildings with doormen. They stop at a glass tower that reaches into the morning sky. Minho badges them through security and into a private elevator. Penthouse, he says. Best security in the city. The elevator opens onto a hallway with one door. Minho uses a key card and gestures them inside. The apartment is beautiful and impersonal. Floor-to-ceiling windows show the city spread below. Everything is clean, modern, expensive. Guest room is down the hall, Minho says. Kitchen is fully stocked. Boss will be back this evening. What about our apartment? Mrs. Kim asks. Being watched. No one will touch your belongings. After Minho leaves, Hannah and her mother stand in the vast living room. The silence feels heavy. This man, Mrs. Kim says finally. You trust him? I don't know, but you're here. Hannah felt exhaustion wash over her. Where else would we go? Home. Home isn't safe right now. Mrs. Kim nods slowly. Then we wait. Outside the windows, the city moves in patterns Hannah can't understand. Somewhere below, men are searching her apartment for something she doesn't have. And somewhere else, Jae-min is handling the situation in ways she probably doesn't want to know about. Her phone buzzes. A text from Evan. Heard you're staying with dangerous people. Call me. Hannah deletes the message without responding. The fewer people who know where she is, the better. But the question remains, how does Evan know where she is? Evening arrives with city lights sparkling beyond the glass walls. Mrs. Kim naps in the guest room while Hannah paces the living area. The elevator dings, footsteps in the hallway. Jae-min enters carrying takeout bags and looking tired. There's something different about his face. A tension around his eyes. How was your day? He asks, like this is normal. Surreal. Yours? Productive. He sets the food on the kitchen counter. Thai, from a place Hannah recognizes but could never afford. The gas leak? She asks. Handled. Your building is safe. What about the men? Also handled. Something in his voice tells her not to ask for details. When can we go home? Mrs. Kim's voice comes from the hallway. She moves slowly but steadily. Tomorrow, Jae-min says. Maybe the day after. Maybe. Depends on a few factors. Hannah felt frustration rise. What factors? Whether the people who sent those men try again. And if they do, then you stay here longer. That's not acceptable. Jae-min's eyes found hers. What's not acceptable is you getting hurt because of my business. So, this is about your business. Yes. His honesty surprises her again. No deflection, no pretty lies. What kind of business, Mrs. Kim asks. The kind that sometimes creates enemies, Jae-min says. I'm sorry you're caught in the middle. They eat in careful silence. The food is excellent, but Hannah can barely taste it. Her mind keeps spinning through possibilities, none of them good. There are rules, Jae-min says finally. Minho mentioned that. Don't leave alone. Don't answer calls from numbers you don't recognize. Don't tell anyone where you are. For how long? Until I'm certain you're safe. Hannah's chest tightened. I'm not a prisoner. No. You're a guest who happens to be in danger. Because of you. Because of me. The admission sits between them like a third person at the table. I should go, Mrs. Kim says quietly. She stands and clears her plate. Mom, I'm tired. Good night, Mr. Seo. Good night, Mrs. Kim. After her mother disappears down the hall, Hannah and Jae-min sit in the living room. The city glitters beyond the windows. This isn't sustainable, Hannah says. I know. I have a job, bills, a life. I know. Then fix it. I'm trying. Something in his voice makes her look at him more carefully. He's exhausted, she realizes. This isn't easy for him either. How? She asks, gentler now. By removing the threat. What threat, exactly? Jae-min is quiet for a long moment. A man named Kang. He thinks, hurting you will hurt me. Will it? Another pause. Yes. The simple word carries weight. Hannah felt something shift inside her chest. Why? She whispers. Because I don't want you hurt. You barely know me. I know enough. The silence stretched between them. Outside, traffic moves in distant patterns of light. The window latch, Hannah says suddenly. You fixed it in the dark. Like you'd done it before. Something shifts in his expression. I'm good with my hands. That's not what I meant. Jae-min stands and walks to the wall of windows. His reflection looks back at him. I had a wife, he says quietly. She used to complain about rattling windows. I got good at fixing them. Had? She died. The words fall like stones into still water. Hannah felt her breath catch. I'm sorry, she says. It was 3 years ago. How? Car accident. She was pregnant. His voice was steady, but his hands weren't. The car was meant for me. Hannah felt her heart break for this man she barely knows. Jae-min, so when I say I won't let you get hurt, I mean it. He turns from the window. I won't fail again. The raw pain in his voice makes Hannah want to reach for him. But the space between them feels vast. That's not your fault, she says. Isn't it? Accidents happen. Bad people make bad choices. That's not on you. Everything that happens in my world is on me. Hannah stands and walks to where he's standing. Up close, she can see the exhaustion lines around his eyes. Not everything, she says softly. You don't understand. I understand grief. Her voice was quiet. I understand feeling responsible for things beyond your control. His eyes find hers. Your father. Cancer. I was 16. Spent 2 years convinced I should have made him go to the doctor sooner. That wasn't your fault. No. But it took time to believe that. They stand in the reflected city lights, 2 people who've lost important pieces of themselves. The rattling windows, Hannah says. You hear them everywhere now. Yes, and you fix them. When I can. Hannah felt understanding settle between them. Is that what this is? Fixing rattling windows? Maybe. Outside, the city never sleeps. Inside, 2 damaged people try to figure out how much trust they can afford. I'll stay, Hannah says finally, for now. But not as a prisoner. What then? As someone who chooses to trust you. For now. Something shifts in his expression. Relief, maybe. Or hope. Thank you, he says. Don't thank me yet. I'm a terrible house guest. Why? I cook too much. I reorganize cabinets. I ask too many questions. His mouth almost smiles. I'll survive. We'll see. The elevator dings. Minho's voice calls from the hallway. Boss, we have a situation. Jae-min's posture changes instantly. What kind of situation? FS. Kang's people are asking questions in Koreatown. About Miss Kim. Jae-min's jaw tightened. How many people? 6 that we've spotted. Maybe more. Hannah felt ice form in her stomach. What does that mean? It means, Jae-min says grimly, you're staying here longer than tomorrow. Part 1 ends with Hannah trapped in a glass tower, the city sprawling below, while dangerous men hunt for her in the streets she calls home. Morning light streams through the penthouse windows. Hannah wakes on the guest room bed, disoriented. For a moment, she forgets where she is. Then reality crashes back. The fake gas leak, the men in her building, Jae-min's quiet confession about his dead wife. She checks on her mother, Mrs. Kim sits at the kitchen table, organizing her pills into a weekly dispenser. Sleep well? Mrs. Kim asks. Not really. You? The bed's too soft, but the view is nice. Through the windows, the city looks peaceful. Hannah knows it's an illusion. Where's Jae-min? She asks. Left early. That Minho brought breakfast. Mrs. Kim gestures to covered plates on the counter. Hannah lifts one cover. Eggs, toast, fresh fruit. The kind of breakfast she can't afford. This feels wrong, she says. Being safe. Being kept. Mrs. Kim's hands pause over the pill dispenser. Sometimes accepting help isn't the same as being kept. Isn't it? Your father was proud too. Almost died of that cancer because he wouldn't see a doctor. Hannah felt her chest tighten. That's different. Is it? Before Hannah can answer, her phone buzzes. A message from an unknown number with a photo attached. The image shows her and Jae-min under the umbrella outside his lounge. The angle is professional, the lighting clear. Someone was watching with good equipment. Below the photo, you look cozy. We should meet. Hannah's breath caught. Mom, we need to call Jae-min. What's wrong? Hannah shows her the message. Mrs. Kim's face goes pale. Call him, Mrs. Kim says. Hannah dials the emergency number Jamin gave her. He answers on the first ring. What's wrong? His voice is sharp, alert. Someone sent me a photo. Of us. Outside your place. Text it to this number. Don't respond to whoever sent it. Who do you think? Kang. He's escalating. Through the phone, she hears car doors slamming, voices in the background. Are you coming back? She asks. On my way. Don't leave the apartment. Don't answer the door for anyone. The line goes dead. Hannah stares at her phone, feeling helpless. He's coming? Mrs. Kim asks. Yes. Good. I want to meet this man properly. What do you mean? I mean, if we're trusting him with our lives, I should know who he is. 20 minutes later, the elevator opens. Jamin enters with Minho and 2 other men. They wear suits but move with military precision. Show me, Jamin says without preamble. Hannah hands him her phone. He studies the photo with cold attention. Professional equipment, good angle. They've been watching for days. Days? Hannah felt sick. How many days? Since the first night, maybe longer. One of the other men speaks quietly. Boss, we swept the building. No signs of entry. Good. Maintain perimeter. Jamin hands the phone back. They're trying to scare you into making a mistake. What kind of mistake? Leaving here. Meeting them somewhere public. Giving them access. Mrs. Kim clears her throat. Mr. CO. Yes, ma'am? I'd like to understand what my daughter is involved in. Jamin's posture shifts slightly. Of course. Please, sit. They gather around the kitchen table. Minho and the other men position themselves near the windows. I run legitimate businesses, Jamin begins. Restaurants, real estate, import services. And illegitimate ones? Mrs. Kim's voice is direct. Something shifts in his expression. Some of my business operates in grey areas. What kind of grey areas? Security services, conflict resolution, protection. You mean violence? Jamin meets her eyes steadily. When necessary, to protect people who can't protect themselves. Like my daughter. Your daughter got caught in the middle of a territorial dispute. That's my responsibility to fix. Mrs. Kim studies his face carefully. This man, Kang, what does he want? My territory, my businesses, my people. And he thinks hurting Hannah will get him those things. He thinks it will make me careless, emotional, weak. Will it? Jamin is quiet for a long moment. Yes. The honesty hangs in the air between them. Then he's already winning, Mrs. Kim says. No, he's already lost. He just doesn't know it yet. Something in Jamin's voice makes Hannah's skin prickle. There's finality in it. Decision. What are you going to do? She asks. End this. How? By being what he expects me to be. Minho clears his throat. Boss, we should discuss later. Jamin's tone cuts off discussion. Right now, I want to make sure Mrs. Kim and Hannah are comfortable. We're fine, Hannah says quickly. Are you? This is your second day in an unfamiliar place. That can't be easy. Mrs. Kim surprises everyone by laughing softly. Mr. Seo, we lived in a refugee camp for 6 months when Hannah was small. This is paradise. I didn't know that. There's a lot you don't know about us. I'd like to, if you're willing to share. Something in his tone makes Hannah look at him more carefully. He's not just being polite. He genuinely wants to know. Why? She asks. Because understanding people helps me protect them better. Is that the only reason? His eyes find hers. No. The simple word carries weight. Mrs. Kim watches this exchange with sharp attention. Well, Mrs. Kim says finally, I suppose we have time for stories. For the next hour, they talk. Mrs. Kim tells Jamin about their immigration, about building a life from nothing. Hannah shares stories about working her way through school. Jamin listens with complete attention. He asks good questions, remembers details. Your turn, Hannah says finally. My turn for what? Stories. Who were you before all this? Something shifts in his expression. The openness closes slightly. Not very interesting, he says. I doubt that. Engineering student, boring family, normal plans. What changed? The silence stretches. Outside, clouds gather over the city. My father died, Jamin says finally. Left debts to dangerous people. I had to choose between college and keeping my family alive. That's not really a choice, Mrs. Kim says gently. No, it wasn't. Do you regret it? Hannah asks. I regret that it was necessary. I don't regret protecting my family, even though it led to this life. Even though, Minho approaches the table. Boss, we need to go. Jae-min checks his watch. Business, he says apologetically. The kind that involves violence? Mrs. Kim asks. The kind that prevents violence. He stands and straightens his jacket. I'll be back tonight. Don't leave. Don't answer calls from unknown numbers. How long? Hannah asks. How long what? How long until this is over? Soon. That's not an answer. It's the only answer I can give right now. After they leave, Hannah and her mother sit in the sudden quiet. He's planning something dangerous, Mrs. Kim says. How can you tell? The way he looked at you when he said soon, like he was memorizing your face. Hannah felt ice settle in her stomach. You think he's going to get himself killed? I think he's going to try to end this quickly, and quick solutions in his world probably involve serious risks. What can we do? Nothing, except trust that he's as good at staying alive as he is at keeping other people alive. Evening comes with no word from Jae-min. Hannah tries reading, tries watching television, tries cooking. Nothing settles her nerves. At 8 o'clock, her phone rings. Jae-min's number. Are you okay? She answers. Fine. Still working. Where are you? Better if you don't know. How are you and Mrs. Kim? Climbing the walls. When are you coming back? Late. Don't wait up. Jae-min. I have to go. Stay inside. The line goes dead. Hannah stares at her phone, frustration building. No news, Mrs.? Kim asks. He's being careful about what he tells me. Smart. The less you know, the less you can be forced to reveal. Forced to reveal? Mrs. Kim's expression grows serious. Hannah, this man has enemies. Real enemies. They will use any leverage they can find. You're scaring me. Good. You should be scared, but not of him. At 10 o'clock, Hannah's phone buzzes. A text from Evan. Coffee tomorrow? I have information about your situation. Hannah shows the message to her mother. Don't respond, Mrs. Kim says immediately. Why not? He might actually know something useful. Or he might be working with the wrong people. Evan? He's harmless. Harmless people don't usually have information about dangerous situations. Hannah felt her world tilt sideways. You think Evan's involved? I think you should ask Jae-min before you trust anyone. Jae-min's not here. Then wait until he is. But waiting feels impossible. Hannah deletes the message without responding, but her mind keeps spinning. How does Evan know about her situation? How did he know she was at Jae-min's lounge that first night? The questions multiply until sleep becomes impossible. At midnight, she hears the elevator, footsteps in the hallway, but they're too light to be Jae-min. Someone tries the door handle. Quietly, carefully, Hannah's breath caught. She grabs her phone and dials Jae-min's number. What's wrong? He answers immediately. Someone's at the door, she whispers. Where's Minho? I don't know. He left when you did. Shit. Stay on the line. Don't open the door. The handle rattles again. Whoever it is has keys or tools. Jae-min, they're trying to get in. I'm 5 minutes away. Get your mother and go to the bathroom. Lock the door. What if... 5 minutes. I'm coming. Hannah wakes Mrs. Kim quickly and quietly. They retreat to the guest bathroom and lock the door. Through the phone, she hears Jae-min's voice giving rapid orders to someone. Car engines, urgent voices. The apartment door opens. Footsteps cross the living room. Hello? A voice calls. Male, unfamiliar. Miss Kim? We just want to talk. More footsteps. Multiple people. We know you're here, the voice says. This doesn't have to be difficult. Mrs. Kim grips Hannah's hand tightly. Her breath was shallow but controlled. We have a message from Mr. Kang, the voice continues. He'd like to meet with you tomorrow. Very civilized, very safe. A pause. If you don't come willingly, we'll have to insist, and Mr. Seo won't always be around to protect you. The footsteps move closer to the guest wing. 2 minutes, Jae-min's voice whispers through the phone. Suddenly, the apartment falls silent. No footsteps, no voices. Then the elevator dings. Go, 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 Jae-min's voice carries from the living room. Sounds of struggle. Brief, violent, decisive. Then quiet. "Hannah?" Jae-min's voice calls. "It's safe." She and Mrs. Kim emerge from the bathroom. Jae-min stands in the living room with Minho and 2 other men. No sign of the intruders. "How many?" Hannah asks. 3. They won't be back. Are they alive? But they understand the consequences now. Jae-min's jacket is torn, blood on his knuckles, but his voice is calm. "Pack your things," he says. "Why?" "This location is compromised. We're moving." "Where?" "Somewhere safer." "Is anywhere actually safe?" Mrs. Kim asks. Jae-min's eyes find hers. "Yes, but it requires trust." "Trust in what?" "Trust in me." The silence stretched. Outside, the city glitters with false peace. "Okay," Hannah says finally, "but no more secrets. If we're trusting you with our lives, we deserve to know what we're walking into." Something shifts in his expression. "You're right. You deserve the truth." Which is, Kang has declared war. On me, on my people, on anyone connected to me, including you. So what do? We disappear until I can end this permanently. And if you can't end it, then we stay disappeared. Hannah felt her old life slipping away like sand through her fingers. "For how long?" she whispers. "As long as it takes." Part 2 ends with them packing their few belongings while the city burns with invisible conflict below. The safe house sits hidden in the mountains outside the city. A cabin that looks ordinary but feels fortified. Thick walls, bulletproof windows, clear sightlines in every direction. Hannah stands on the porch breathing cold morning air. After 3 days in the glass tower, the silence here feels overwhelming. Different from the penthouse, Jae-min says behind her. Quieter, safer. She turns to study his profile. Dark circles under his eyes suggest he hasn't slept much. "When did you last eat?" she asks. "I'm fine." "That's not what I asked. Yesterday, maybe." Hannah felt frustration bloom in her chest. "You can't protect anyone if you collapse." "I won't collapse. You will, if you don't take care of yourself." Something shifts in his expression. "I'm not used to people worrying about that." "Well, get used to it." Inside, Mrs. Kim sits at the kitchen table sorting medications. She's adapted to each new location with quiet grace. "Mr. Seo," she says without looking up. "Sit down." Hannah's making breakfast. "I should check the perimeter." Minho's doing that. "Sit." Jae-min sits. He follows orders from Mrs. Kim more readily than from his own men. Hannah scrambles eggs and watches him in her peripheral vision. His hands rest flat on the table, but tension radiates through his shoulders. "How long can we stay here?" she asks. "As long as necessary." "And how long is that?" "Until Kang is neutralized." "What does neutralized mean exactly?" Jae-min is quiet for a moment. "Until he's no longer a threat to you." That's still not an answer. It's the only answer that matters. Hannah sets a plate in front of him. "Eat." "I'm not really." "Eat." He eats. Mrs. Kim watches this exchange with barely concealed amusement. "You're good at that," she tells Hannah. "Good at what?" "Making people do what they should do instead of what they want to do." Jaemin's mouth almost smiles. "She's very persuasive." "I'm sitting right here," Hannah says. "We know." His eyes find hers. That's the point. Something warm unfurls in her chest. The feeling is dangerous and welcome at the same time. Minho appears in the doorway. "Boss, we have movement on the access road." Jae-min stands immediately. "How many?" "One vehicle. Looks like a delivery truck." "Expected?" "No." Jae-min's entire demeanor changes. "Mrs. Kim, Hannah, go to the back bedroom. Lock the door." "What if it's actually a delivery?" Hannah asks. "Then we'll know in a few minutes." "And if it's not?" "Then you'll be safe in the back room." Mrs. Kim stands slowly. "Come on, dear. I don't want to hide." "Sometimes hiding is the smart choice." Mrs. Kim says. "Sometimes it's the only choice." In the bedroom, they sit on the bed and listen. Voices outside, too distant to understand. The sound of a vehicle door closing. "I hate this," Hannah whispers. "I know." Feeling helpless, being protected like I can't think for myself. "He's not protecting you because he thinks you're helpless," Mrs. Kim says. "He's protecting you because he cares about you." "It's been less than a week. How can he care about me already?" How long did it take you to care about him? The question hits like a physical blow. Hannah realizes she doesn't have an answer. That's different, she says weakly. Is it? Before Hannah can respond, footsteps approach the door. 3 knocks, pause, 2 more. It's me, Jamin's voice calls. They open the door. He looks tired but not tense. False alarm, he says. Actual delivery truck. Wrong address. That's it, Hannah asks. That's it, but we're moving again anyway. Why? Too many people know about this location now. Because of one lost delivery truck? Because someone might have sent that delivery truck to test our responses. Hannah felt exhaustion wash over her. This is paranoia. This is survival. The new safe house sits above a Korean restaurant in the city. The owner is loyal to Jamin, and the building has 3 different escape routes. More convenient, Jamin says as they settle in. And better food. The apartment is small but comfortable. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a living area that smells like garlic and ginger from downstairs. How long here, Mrs.? Kim asks. Until I finish handling things with Kang. And when will that be? Soon. That night, Hannah can't sleep. The sounds of the city drift through the windows. Normal sounds, traffic, voices, life continuing while hers sits on pause. She finds Jamin on the small balcony overlooking the alley. He's watching the street with patient attention. Expecting someone? She asks. Always. That must be exhausting. You get used to it. Hannah sits in the chair beside him. Do you? Really? Most of the time. What about the rest of the time? The rest of the time I remember what happens when I let my guard down. His wife. The car accident. The baby who never got to be born. That wasn't your fault, Hannah says quietly. Wasn't it? I brought her into my world. I made her a target. She chose to be in your world. She didn't know what that meant. Did you explain it to her? I tried, but I was young. I thought love was enough to keep people safe. The silence stretched between them. Below, a cat picks its way through garbage cans. What do you think now? Hannah asks. Now I think love is what makes keeping people safe worth doing. The words hang in the air like a confession. Is that what this is? Hannah asks. Love? I don't know. Maybe. Is that what this is for you? Hannah considers lying. It would be safer. Easier, maybe, she says instead. That scares you, terrifies me. Good, it should. Why good? Because if you're not scared, you're not paying attention to how dangerous this is. For me, for both of us. A motorcycle passes in the alley below. Jamin watches until it disappears. I should go back inside, Hannah says. You should, but neither of them moves. Jamin? Yes? When this is over, when Kang is handled, what happens to us? I don't know, but you've thought about it. Every minute of every day. And I hope you'll choose to stay close enough that I can keep fixing your rattling windows. Despite everything, Hannah smiles. That's a strange way to ask someone to be with. You. I'm out of practice with normal relationships. This isn't normal anyway. No. It's not. They sit in the complicated quiet of 2 people falling for each other in the middle of a war. The next morning brings bad news. Minho's face is grim when he arrives with coffee and pastries. Kang made a move last night, he reports. Hit 3 of our businesses. No casualties, but significant property damage. Message received, Jamin says. What's our response? Your call, boss. Jamin is quiet for a long moment. Proportional. Hit 3 of his. Same damage level, same message. And if he escalates, then we escalate. Hannah felt ice form in her stomach. This is spiraling. This is business. This is violence. Sometimes they're the same thing. Mrs. Kim clears her throat. Perhaps there's another way? Such as? Direct negotiation. Find out what he really wants. I know what he wants. Territory. Respect. Market share. Those are things you can negotiate about. Not with Kang. He only understands strength. Have you tried anything else? Jamin's expression grows distant. Once. Early on. It cost me everything. His wife. The failed negotiation that led to the car bomb. This is different, Hannah says. How? Because this time you're not trying to protect just one person. You're trying to protect everyone. That makes it more complicated. Not less. It also makes it more important to find a solution that doesn't involve anyone else dying. Something shifts in his expression. You think I want people to die? I think you want this over quickly, and quick solutions in your world usually involve violence. You're right. The admission surprises her. But I can't see another way, he continues. Kang won't stop until he's forced to stop. Then force him, but not with more violence. How? I don't know, but there has to be something he values more than territory. Minho speaks up quietly. His son. Everyone turns to look at him. Kang has a son, college age, studies abroad, but visits every few months. What about him? Jae-min asks. Kids clean, no involvement in the family business. Kang keeps him completely separate, because he wants his son to have a different life. Exactly. Jae-min is quiet for a long moment. That's leverage. No, Hana says immediately. Not to hurt him. To protect him. I don't understand. If Kang's son is studying abroad, he's vulnerable to retaliation from Kang's other enemies. We could offer protection. In exchange for what? Backing down. Territorial concessions. A truce. Mrs. Kim nods slowly. You're offering to protect what he loves most. Yes. Instead of threatening it. Yes. That could work, Minho says. If we approach it right. Jae-min stands and paces to the window. It's risky. If Kang sees it as a threat instead of an offer, then we're back where we started, Hana says. But if it works, everyone stays. Alive. Including you. Including me. He turns from the window. All right. We try it. That afternoon, while Jae-min handles the delicate negotiation, Hana tries to focus on normal things. Cooking, reading, helping her mother with physical therapy exercises. But normal feels impossible when the man you might be falling in love with is risking everything on a diplomatic solution to a war. You're worried, Mrs. Kim observes. Of course I'm worried. About him specifically, or about the situation generally? Both, but mostly him. Yes. Mrs. Kim smiles. Good. How is that good? Because it means you've stopped fighting what you feel. I'm terrified of what I feel. Also good. You keep saying that. Because fear means you. Understand the stakes. And understanding the stakes means you'll make better choices. What if he doesn't come back? Then you'll grieve him and eventually heal and find a way to build a life that honors what he gave you. What did he give me? Safety. Protection. The knowledge that someone was willing to risk everything to keep you alive. That's not love, isn't it? Before Hana can answer, her phone buzzes. A message from Evan. Heard about the trouble. Can we meet? I have information that might help. This time, she shows the message to her mother immediately. How does he keep knowing things? Mrs. Kim asks. I've been wondering the same thing. Ask Jae-min when he gets back. What if this is legitimate? What if Evan actually knows something useful? Then he can tell Jae-min directly. Evan's scared of Jae-min. Smart of him. Maybe I should just talk to him for 5 minutes. In public. With Minho watching. Absolutely not. Why not? Because the only way Evan keeps knowing things is if someone's telling him things. And the only reason someone would tell him things is if they want him to tell you things. The logic hits like cold water. You think it's a trap. I think it's been a trap from the beginning. That evening, Jae-min returns looking cautiously optimistic. How did it go? Hana asks. Better than expected. Kang agreed to meet tomorrow. That's good, right? It's progress. But meeting doesn't guarantee agreement. What happens at the meeting? I offer protection for his son in exchange for territorial concessions and a formal truce. And if he says no, then we're back to the old way of handling things. Hana shows him Evan's message. This came this afternoon. Jae-min's expression darkens as he reads it. How many times has he contacted you? 3 or 4 times since this started. What did you tell him? Nothing. I haven't responded to any of them. Good. Don't. Why? What's wrong with Evan? How does he keep knowing things about your situation? I don't know. Neither do I. And that makes him dangerous. You think he's working for Kang? I think someone's feeding him information to feed to you. The question is who and why. Mrs. Kim speaks up. Maybe to flush you out. Get you to meet somewhere public where they can grab you. Or to make us distrust our allies, Jae-min adds. create paranoia and isolation. Is it working? The paranoia part? Yes. The isolation part depends on whether you trust me enough to stay away from him. I trust you. Something shifts in his expression. Relief, maybe, or gratitude. Good, he says quietly, because tomorrow, when I meet with Kang, I need to know you're safe. I can't negotiate effectively if I'm worried about where you are. We'll stay here. We won't go anywhere. Promise me. I promise. But even as she says it, Hana wonders if promises are enough when the man you love is walking into a room with someone who wants him dead. Part 3 ends with the weight of tomorrow's negotiation hanging over them like a storm that hasn't quite broken yet. The morning of the meeting arrives grey and tense. Jae-min dresses carefully a dark suit that makes him look both formal and dangerous. His movements are precise, controlled. Hana watches from the bed as he checks his watch, adjusts his cufflinks, ordinary gestures that feel weighted with finality. What time? She asks. 2 o'clock, neutral location. Kang's choice. Where? A tea house in Koreatown. Public enough to discourage violence, private enough for real conversation. How many people will you take? Just Minho. Too many looks like a threat. Too few looks like weakness. Hana felt her chest tighten. What if it's a trap? It might be. But it's also our best chance at ending this without more blood. He sits on the bed beside her. Up close, she can see the tension around his eyes. If something happens to me, he says quietly, Minho will get you and Mrs. Kim out of the city. New identities, clean start, somewhere safe. Nothing's going to happen to you. Probably not. But if it does, stop. Her voice was sharper than intended. Don't talk like that. Hana, no. You don't get to give me contingency plans and backup arrangements. You get to come back alive. Something shifts in his expression. Is that an order? Yes. I'll do my best. Do better than your best. He almost smiles. I'll see what I can do. Mrs. Kim appears in the doorway carrying a breakfast tray. Eat something before you go. I'm not really hungry, Jae-min says. Neither were you yesterday, or the day before. Eat. He eats. Hana realizes her mother has appointed herself his caretaker, and he's too tired to resist. Mrs. Kim, he says between bites, if today goes wrong. It won't. But if it does, there's an envelope in the safe. Instructions for Mr. Seo. Mrs. Kim's voice cuts through his words. Today will go right because you'll make it go right. Because my daughter is counting on you to come home. Because you're smart enough to find a solution that doesn't require anyone to be a hero. Yes, ma'am. Good. Now, finish your eggs. After breakfast, Jae-min and Minho prepare to leave. Weapons concealed but present. Communication devices tested and retested. At the door, Jae-min pauses. I'll call when it's over. Be careful, Hana says. Always am. Be more careful than always. His eyes find hers. Something passes between them that feels like a promise neither of them can afford to make. Then he's gone, and Hana is left with silence and waiting. The hours crawl. Hana tries reading, tries watching television, tries helping Mrs. Kim with crossword puzzles. Nothing works. At 1:30, her phone buzzes. Evan, I know you won't respond, but you need to know Kang has people watching the tea house. This is a setup. Tell Jae-min to get out. Hana stares at the message, heart pounding. What is it? Mrs. Kim asks. Hana shows her the phone. Mrs. Kim reads quickly. It could be a trick, Mrs. Kim says, to make you panic and do something stupid, or it could be real. And Jae-min could be walking into an ambush. You promised to stay here. If he dies because I had information that could save him, if this is a trap to get you to leave, then you going there kills both of you. Hana felt torn between loyalty and terror. What do I do? You trust him to handle whatever happens. And if he can't, then you honor what he asked you to do. You stay safe. But staying safe feels like betrayal when the man you love might be in mortal danger. At exactly 2 o'clock, Hana's phone goes silent. No calls, no texts, no updates. The quiet feels ominous. How long should a meeting like this take? She asks. As long as it takes, Mrs. Kim says. These things can't be rushed. 2:30 passes, then 3 o'clock. At 3:15, Hana's phone rings. Unknown number. Hello? She answers carefully. Miss Kim? This is Detective Park, LAPD, we need you to come to the hospital. Hospital? Why? There's been an incident. Mr. Seo is asking for you. Hana felt the world tilt sideways. Is he alive? He's stable, but he's insisting we contact you before he'll give any statements about what happened. Which hospital? Cedars, Sinai. Ask for the trauma unit. The line goes dead. Hana stares at her phone, shaking. We have to go, she tells Mrs. Kim. Absolutely not. He's hurt. He's asking for me. And how did the police get your number? How did they know to call you? The questions stop Hana cold. I don't know. Because Jae-min would never give them your information, which means someone else did. So what are you saying? I'm saying that call was fake, and whoever made it wants you to leave this apartment. But what if it's real? What if he's actually hurt? Then Minho will call you. On the emergency number Jae-min gave you. Hana checks her phone. No missed calls on the emergency line. You're right, she says slowly. This is a trap. Yes. And you almost walked into it. 20 minutes later, the real call comes. Minho's voice, tense but controlled. Miss Kim, we have a situation. Is Jae-min okay? He's fine, but we need to move you immediately. Why? What happened? The meeting was legitimate. Kang agreed to terms. But while we were negotiating, his people raided this building. Hana felt ice form in her stomach. They're here? They're coming. We have maybe 10 minutes. Where do we go? Boss will explain when we pick you up. Pack light, move fast. Hana and Mrs. Kim throw essentials into 2 small bags. Medications, identification, 1 change of clothes each. In the hallway, they can hear footsteps on the stairs below. Multiple people, moving with purpose. Fire escape, Mrs. Kim whispers. They slip onto the back balcony and climb down the metal stairs. Hana's hands shake on the railings, but her mother moves with surprising agility. At ground level, Minho waits with a car. Engine running, doors open. Get in, he says tersely. As they drive away, Hana sees men in dark clothes entering the building they just left. How close was that? She asks. Too close. But boss anticipated it might happen. How? Kang was too agreeable, made the deal too quickly. Boss figured it was a distraction. So the negotiation worked, but it was also a setup. Both. Kang gets his truce and territorial concessions, but he also thought he'd get you as a bonus. Where's Jae-min now? Safe house number 4, different part of the city. They drive through streets Hana doesn't recognize. Upscale neighborhoods giving way to industrial areas, then back to residential. Minho, Mrs. Kim says quietly, how many safe houses are there? As many as we need. That's not really an answer. No, ma'am, it's not. The 4th safe house sits above a dry cleaner in a strip mall. Unremarkable from the outside, but Hana can see the security upgrades. Reinforced doors, tinted windows, clear sight lines. Jae-min waits in the small apartment upstairs. He looks tired but unhurt. You're okay, Hana says, relief flooding through her. I'm fine. You? Better now. He pulls her into his arms, and for a moment the world feels stable again. Someone called me, she says against his chest. Pretending to be police. Said you were in the hospital. I figured they'd try something like that. How? Because it's what I would try if I wanted to flush someone out of hiding. Over his shoulder, she sees Mrs. Kim settling into a chair with weary acceptance. How many more times? Mrs. Kim asks, how many more safe houses and midnight escapes? This was the last one, Jae-min says. The deal with Kang is real. He gets territory, I get peace. Everyone wins. What about his attempt to grab us? Insurance. He wanted to make sure I'd honor the agreement. And now he knows I will, because the alternative is worse than territorial concessions. Hana pulls back to look at his face. What did you tell him? That touching you would end everything he's built. Not just his businesses, his family, his legacy, his son's future. Everything. You threatened his son. I threatened to withdraw my offer of protection. In my world, that's the same thing as a death sentence. Mrs. Kim makes a sound of understanding. So he has to keep you alive to keep his son safe. And he has to keep you alive to keep me cooperative. Mutual assured destruction, Hana says. Mutual assured survival. That evening, as they settle into yet another temporary refuge, Hana finds herself on another balcony with Jae-min. Is it really over? She asks. The immediate threat? Yes. Kang won't move against you now. What about other threats? Other enemies? There will always be other threats. That's the nature of this business. So we just keep running? Keep hiding? No. Now we disappear for real. What do you mean? I mean I walk away from all of it. Transfer my holdings to Minho, relocate somewhere quiet, start over. Hana felt her breath catch. You'd do that? I'd do that. For me? For us. If you'll have me. The words hang in the air between them, heavy with possibility. What kind of life would that be? She asks. Boring. Safe. Normal. You think you could handle boring? I think I could learn to. If it meant waking up next to you without wondering who might be trying to kill us today, and if I said no, then I'd make sure you and Mrs. Kim was safe somewhere far away, and I'd go back to being exactly what I've always been. A man who fixes rattling windows. A man who protects people who matter to him. Hana studies his profile in the city lights. And if I said yes, then we find a house with windows that don't rattle. And we build something that's just ours. The silence stretches between them, full of unspoken possibilities. I need time to think, Hana says finally. Of course, but not because I don't know what I want. Then why? Because I want to be sure I'm choosing you, not just choosing safety. Something shifts in his expression. And if it turns out you're choosing safety, then I'll tell you that too. Fair enough. That night, Hana lies awake thinking about choices and consequences, about love that grows in crisis and whether it can survive in peace. In the morning, she finds Jae-min in the kitchen making coffee. The domestic gesture looks strange on a man who spent the week orchestrating ceasefires. Good morning, he says. Morning. Sleep well? Better than I have in months. Why? Because for the first time in a long time, I went to sleep knowing the people I care about were safe. Mrs. Kim appears in the hallway, moving slowly but steadily. How are you feeling today, Mrs. Kim? Jae-min asks. Like a woman who's had quite enough excitement for one lifetime. I can arrange for you to return to normal life whenever you're ready. What about Hana? That's up to Hana. Mrs. Kim studies both their faces, carefully. I see. And what are the options? Jae-min explains his offer, walking away from his business, starting over somewhere safe. That's quite a sacrifice, Mrs. Kim says when he's finished. Not if it gets me what I want most, which is a life with your daughter, a chance to build something good instead of just protecting what exists. And you, dear? Mrs. Kim asks Hana. What do you want? I want to stop being afraid. I want to wake up in the same bed for more than 3 days in a row. I want to build something that's ours. With him? With him. Something shifts in Jae-min's expression. Hope, carefully controlled, but unmistakably present. Then that's settled, Mrs. Kim says briskly. Where shall we live? The question surprises them all. We? Hana asks. Did you think I was going to let you disappear across the country without me? After all this excitement, regular life would be terribly dull. Jae-min almost smiles. Any requests for location, Mrs. Kim? Somewhere with good doctors and decent kimchi. The rest we can figure out as we go. 3 months later, they live in a small coastal town where Jae-min runs a legitimate security consulting firm and Hana manages a Korean fusion restaurant they bought together. Mrs. Kim has her own cottage next door and a garden that produces vegetables she shares with half the neighborhood. No rattling windows, Hana observes one morning as she makes coffee in their kitchen. I made sure of that, Jae-min says from the table where he's reading security reports that no longer involve life or death decisions. Missing the excitement. Not even a little bit. What do you miss? Nothing important. She brings him coffee and sits across from him. Really? Nothing? I miss the certainty, knowing exactly what needed to be done and how to do it. And now? Now I have to figure out how to be happy. It's more complicated. Are you happy? Getting there? You? Getting there. Outside, Mrs. Kim's voice calls from the garden. Something about tomatoes and whether they need more water. She's settled in well. Jae-min observes. She likes having projects and neighbors who check on her. What about you? Missing the city? I miss the energy sometimes, but not the fear. No more looking over your shoulder. No more sleeping with one eye open. They sit in the comfortable quiet of people who've earned their peace. Jae-min? Yes? When you said you loved me, I never said that. You did, with everything else you said and did. Ah, that kind of saying. Do you love me? Yes, even though I'm occasionally difficult. Especially because you're occasionally difficult. Why especially? Because difficult people don't settle for easy answers. They push for better ones. Is that what I did? Pushed for better answers? You pushed for solutions that didn't require anyone to be expendable, including me. Was that difficult? Terrifying. I'd never had someone care whether I came home alive. Hana felt warmth bloom in her chest. Well, you do now. Yes, I do, Mrs. Kim's voice calls again, closer now. Footsteps on the front porch. She's coming for breakfast, Hana says. I'll make extra eggs. You don't have to. I want to. And that, Hana thinks as she watches him move around their kitchen, is what love looks like after the crisis passes. Simple choices to take care of each other, daily decisions to stay and build instead of running and hiding. Missus. Kim enters without knocking, carrying tomatoes and news about the neighbor's new puppy. Good morning, children, she says, kissing Hana's cheek and patting Jaemin's shoulder. Morning, Mum, Hana says. The word still feels new but right. They've become family through trial by fire. What's the plan today, Mrs.? Kim asks. Restaurant prep for me, Hana says. Client meetings for him. Exciting clients? Mrs. Kim asks Jaemin. Boring clients. Small businesses that need better security systems. Perfect. Why perfect? Because boring means safe, and safe means permanent. After Mrs. Kim leaves with promises to bring dinner later, Hana and Jaemin get ready for their respective days. See you tonight? She asks at the door. Where else would I go? Nowhere. But I like hearing you say it. I'll be home for dinner. I'll fix anything that's rattling. I'll help with dishes. Such extravagant promises. I'm an extravagant man. She kisses him goodbye, still a small miracle. That she can do that without fear of it being the last time. That evening, they cook dinner together while Mrs. Kim supervises and offers suggestions. Normal family chaos that feels precious because they know how easily it could have been lost. You're happy, Mrs. Kim observes as they clean up. We're getting there. Hana says. No, you're there. You're both just afraid to admit it because you're waiting for something to go wrong. Nothing's going to go wrong, Jaemin says from the sink. See? That's how I know you're happy. You believe that now. Later, as they settle into bed in their house with windows that don't rattle, Hana turns to study Jaemin's profile. What are you thinking about? He asks. How different this is from that first night in my apartment. Better or worse? Different, better, more real. More real how? That night you were protecting a stranger. Tonight you're home with family. Something shifts in his expression. Family. Is that okay? The word? It's perfect. Outside, the ocean whispers against the shore. Inside, two people who found love in the middle of chaos settle into the radical peace of choosing each other every day. Jaemin? Thank you. For what? For being worth the risk. Thank you for taking it. In the morning, they'll wake up in the same bed they went to sleep in. Tonight, that feels like the greatest victory of all. 6 months. Later, the wedding is small. Just Mrs. Kim, Minho, and a handful of neighbors who've become friends. The ceremony takes place in Mrs. Kim's garden, surrounded by the vegetables she's coaxed from coastal soil. Hana wears a simple white dress and carries tomatoes instead of flowers. Jaemin wears his best suit and looks nervous in a way she's never seen. You may kiss the bride, the officiant says. He does, gently, like he still can't quite believe she's real. Hello, husband, she whispers against his mouth. Hello, wife. The reception consists of Korean barbecue on the back patio and Mrs. Kim's homemade kimchi. Minho makes a toast about found family and second chances. As the sun sets over the water, Hana finds herself on the porch swing Jaemin installed last month. Regrets? He asks, settling beside her. Only that it took us so long to get here. It took exactly as long as it needed to. You think? I think we needed to learn how to trust each other in crisis before we could learn how to love each other in peace. And now? Now we have the rest of our lives to figure out what comes next. Mrs. Kim appears in the doorway. "Children, there's cake." "Coming, Mum," they say in unison. Inside, surrounded by the people who chose to become their family, they cut cake and make promises about forever. Later, as guests drift home and dishes get washed, Hannah stands at the kitchen window watching Jae-min help Mrs. Kim deadhead her roses. Normal life, safe life, the life they chose together. Her phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. "Congratulations. You deserve all the happiness." She deletes it without showing anyone. "Some mysteries don't need solving. Ready for bed, Mrs. Seo?" Jaemin's voice comes from behind her. "Ready, Mr. Seo." Upstairs, in their bedroom with windows that face the ocean, they settle into married life with the quiet satisfaction of people who know exactly how much their happiness cost. "Any rattling tonight?" Hannah asks. "Nothing that needs fixing." "Good. I like our windows just the way they are. Perfectly secure. Perfectly ours." Outside, waves whisper against the shore. Inside, two people who saved each other sleep soundly in the house they built, from love and second chances. They are finally, completely home.